Hello, my name is Hakan ARIBAŞ. I'm a medical doctor. I'm married and I have one child. And in terms of professional experience, I've worked in pharmaceutical industry for more than 15 years. And now I've started my own company, which is about the healthcare, tourism and consultancy to companies, and also after such years, I am still trying to learn anything from anyone, and that is making me happy. And thank you very much again for sharing this moment with me. Today, I want to discuss about some important figures and inventions about artificial intelligence. Data processing and creating new data based on data has interesting milestones, such as Charles Babbage's difference engine #1 in 1821, books by George Boole titled The Mathematical Analysis of Logic, 1847, and an investigation of the laws of thought, 1854, his ones and his zeros, which constitute the logic of every operation we do with our computer or smartphone, and the point we have reached with ChatGPT today. There has been a great interest to artificial intelligence, as well as great misfortunes over time. Although there is no common consensus on the dates, most sources claim that it had its first winter around 1973 and 1974, and then the boom times appear, the 1980s. The roots of artificial intelligence go back long before today. Aristotle bestowed us logic and reason. René Descartes declared, "I think, therefore I am," proposing a duality of mind and body, like other forward-looking thinkers during the early phases of scientific revolution. Descartes was eager to abolish any trace of Aristotelian souls from the material world. Consequently, he had all that physical things, even highly complex ones such as plants and animals, are constitute entirely of material parts that are governed by simple mechanical laws. And then Spinoza gave us an order of all nature reason through geometrical proofs, a work later influencing Einstein's search for a unified theory of the universe. Leibniz suggested mind and body were separate, but evenly matched. He dreamed of reducing reasoning to algebra of thought. The difference engines were invented by Charles Babbage in 1822 and 1833. Difference engine was expected to calculate logarithmic tables to high degree of precision. It was capable of polynomial evolution by finite difference. It could solve differential equations and was powered by steam and stored program to perform calculations and print results. But the engine was never built completely. A small demonstration assembly was built in 1832. It was the first successful automatic calculator and one of the finest examples of precision engineering of the time. It remains amongst the most celebrated icons in the prehistoric automatic computation. In 1844, with the difference engine project stalled, Babbage conceived of a new, more ambitious machine, later called the analytic engine, a general-purpose programmable computing machine. The analytical engine was a quantum leap in logical conception and physical size, and its design ranks as one of the startling intellectual achievements of the century. The analytic engine had input, output, store, mill, and control units. Then later came George Boole. Every keystroke on our computer, every swipe on our phone, every answer from Siri can be traced to Boole. Boolean logic of reducing thought to ones and zeros is the foundation for all digital computing. There's a Boolean algebra using symbolic logic, Boolean search, this and that, and Boolean logic. Second World War. German scientists invents Enigma, and it was employed extensively by Nazi Germany during World War II. in all branches of the German military. The Enigma machine was considered so secure that it was used to encipher the most top-secret messages. The Poles were the first to break the military variant of the Enigma in 1932. Young Polish mathematician Marian Rejewski had recovered the wiring of the military Enigma machine, and the bomba was born. Based on the information presented by the Poles, British mathematician Alan Turing developed a machine that was capable of recovering the key settings, even if the Germans would drop the double encryption of the message key at the beginning of each message. The initial design of the British bomb was produced in 1939 at the UK Government Code and Cipher School at Bletchley Park by Alan Turing, with an important refinement devised in 1940 by Gordon Welchman. During the course of the war, over 200 Turing-Welchman bombs were built. There is also an American version of the bomb began serving in 1943. Speaking of Alan Turing, we should mention about the Turing test. It's also well known as the imitation game, and there's a movie about it. In 1950, Alan Turing introduced a test to check whether a machine can think like a human or not. This test is known as the Turing test. In this test, Turing proposed that the computer can be said to be an intelligent if it can mimic human response under specific conditions. Turing test was introduced by Turing in his 1950 paper, Computing Machinery and Intelligence, which considered the question, can machines think? Although there are some claims that the test has been passed, there is no officially accepted information as far as I know. And in 1943, American neurophysiologist and cybernetician of the University of Illinois at Chicago, Warren McCullough, and self-taught logician and a cognitive psychologist, Walter Pitts, published a logical calculus of the ideas eminent in nervous activity, describing the McCullough-Pitts neuron, the first mathematical model of a neural network. Building on ideas in Alan Turing's uncomputable numbers, McCullough and Pitts' paper provided a way to describe brain functions in abstract terms and showed that simple elements connected in a neural network can have immense computational power. The paper received little attention until its ideas were applied by John von Neumann, Norbert Wiener, and others. In 1948, Norbert Wiener had published Cybernetics, a landmark theoretical work that both foreshadowed and influenced the arrival of computing, robotics, and automation. 2 years later, he wrote The Human Use of Human Beings, a popularization of those ideas, and an exploration of the potential of automation and the risks of dehumanization by machines. John von Neumann, in a famous 1945 paper introducing the architecture still used by computers today, used the term for psychology, memory, to refer to a computer's storage units. On January 7, 1954, the first public demonstration of a Russian English machine translation system occurred in New York, a collaboration between IBM and Georgetown University. Although having a small-scale experiment of just 250 words and 6 grammar rules, it raised expectations of automatic systems capable of high-quality translation in the near future at those times. However, the triumphant headlines hid one little detail. No one mentioned that the translated examples were carefully selected and tested to exclude any ambiguity. For everyday use, the system was no better than a pocket phrasebook. Nevertheless, the sort of arms race launched. Canada, Germany, France, and especially Japan all joined the race for machine translation. The Dartmouth Summer Research Project on Artificial Intelligence was a 1956 summer workshop, widely considered to be the founding event of artificial intelligence as a field. The project lasted approximately 6 to 8 weeks and was essentially an extended brainstorming session. In the early 1950s, There were various names for the field of thinking machines: cybernetics, automata theory, and complex information processing. The variety of names suggests the variety of conceptual orientations. In 1955, John McCartney, a young assistant professor of mathematics at Dartmouth College, decided to organize a group to clarify and develop ideas about thinking machines. He picked the name artificial intelligence for the new field. He chose the name partly of its neutrality, avoiding a focus on narrow automata theory and avoiding cybernetics, which was heavily focused on analog feedback, as well as him potentially having to accept the assertive Norbert Wiener as guru or having to argue with him. In July 1958, the US Office of Naval Research unveiled a remarkable invention, an IBM 704, a 5-ton computer the size of a room, was fed a series of punch cards. After 50 trials, the computer taught itself to distinguish cards marked on the left from cards marked on the right. It was a demonstration of the perception. The first machine which is capable of having an original idea, according to its creator Frank Rosenblatt. Stories about the creation of machines having human qualities have long been a fascinating province in the realm of science fiction, Rosenblatt wrote in 1958. Yet, we are about to witness the birth of such a machine capable of perceiving, recognizing, and identifying its surroundings without any human training or control. And he was right. But it took half a century to prove it. Let's see how the IBM 704 works.
In the 1950s and 60s, scientists built a few working perceptrons, as these artificial brains were called.
He's using it to explore the mysterious problem of how the brain learns.
This perceptron is being trained to recognize the difference between males and females. It is something that all of us can do easily, but few of us can explain how. To get a computer to do this would involve working out many complex rules about faces and writing a computer program. But this perceptron was simply given lots and lots of examples, including some with unusual hairstyles.
But when it comes to a beetle, the computer looks at facial features and hair outline and takes longer to learn what it's told by Dr. Taylor. Andrew Cruikshank's wig also causes a little heart-searching.
After training on lots of examples, it's given new faces it has never seen and is able to successfully distinguish male from female. It has learned.
Let's jump to 2022 and talk about ChatGPT based on GPT 3.5 by OpenAI. Because ChatGPT is still in its research stage, it's free to use, and you can ask as many questions as you would like. The bot itself says, my responses are not intended to be taken as fact. And I always encourage people to verify any information they receive from me or another source. OpenAI itself also notes that ChatGPT sometimes writes plausible sounding but incorrect or nonsensical answers. How about asking the future of AI to ChatGPT? Let's do it. Thanks for watching.